Hey, well, good Tuesday evening, folks, and welcome to the Illinois Freedom Caucus show. Not chairman, sorry, want to misgender him there. Leader Halbrook is out for the evening, and so I'm going to take his position tonight and moderate. So thanks for all for joining us. I've got Leader Chairman Chris Miller, the Honorable Leader Niemerg, and Supreme Leader David Freeze. So, gentlemen, what's going on in your part of Illinois? David?
Oh, well, for starters, I got this flipping scour hole still trying to get figured out, still trying to get funding for.
Mm-hmm.
It's really crazy. So we need $5 million to fix it, or we need $300 million to fix the damage after the fact that the levee blows. So this is our government at work at its finest. We'd rather spend $300 million than five. So if anybody can explain that to me, please give me a call. I'd appreciate it.
Sounds like Illinois. Niemerg, what's going on?
Well, I'm sure Chris is going to talk about this as well, but still impeaching Governor J.B. Pritzker. And Chris and I are working tirelessly to make that happen.
That's right. Chris?
Well, I'm getting a little exercise because as the beans were getting tough, I packed my combine full of bean tummies and stems, and I am digging them out one scoop at a time. And so I'm hot right now and sweating.
Yeah, it is harvest time in most of Illinois. So we certainly thank our farmers and stay safe on the roads, guys. Make sure you're looking out for tractors. So with that, let's jump into it this evening. We've got Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. The downgrade from Lori Lightfoot we never thought was possible, calling police a sickness. And then we were going to, of course, talk about the Democrats in Congress that couldn't put politics aside to honor Charlie Kirk. So here, Mayor Johnson calls police a sickness, and in an interview says they must be eradicated. Coming off the heels of the Safety Act and defund the police movement, guys, this guy just keeps getting worse and worse.
Yeah, I don't know what else we need to really say about this. I mean, when they say the quiet part out loud, it's interesting to see how they gaslight after these comments and deflect and quite frankly lie about what they've said, how they said it, and come out with a different tune. But I mean, we have it on record. We have Brandon Johnson saying these things. We have, Governor J.B. Pritzker saying that Republicans shall not know a moment of peace. And any law enforcement officers that are out there listening tonight, I just want to say thank you. You're obviously you're not a sickness. You don't need to be eradicated. We need more of you, and we need to get out of the way and let you do your jobs to keep the good people of this state safe and secure, which is completely lost on the Democrat Party here in the state of Illinois. So we have to basically impeach Governor J.B. Pritzker, but we have to beat these folks at the ballot box because there is no unity with the radical left and what they're doing to this state.
Yeah, I tell you, when I heard this, I couldn't believe it. And if they really are a sickness, well, then he probably should start distancing himself from these sick individuals, and he should start with his own security force. I'm sure he surrounds himself with lots of security. So why does he do that if he thinks that these people are a sickness? Let's start there, Mayor Johnson. I would love to see that. Get rid of them. Why don't you live like everybody else in the city of Chicago? Fear of getting mugged or murdered. Yeah, let's try that first.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'd like to echo those comments of David and Adams. It's absolutely absurd that it's actually the height of hypocrisy that Brandon Johnson and J.B. Pritzker want to badmouth the police when they don't go anywhere without their entourage. Their home is totally protected. They've insulated themselves from any violence from the community up there just because of the police presence. And to him to name call and disparage the police is absolutely a travesty.
Well, and we've been talking about Chicago crime here the last few weeks. It's been a hot topic. I think we all wish the mayor would want to eradicate crime as much as he apparently wants to eradicate law enforcement. But he's got his priorities a little bit mismatched.
Yeah, these like Chris said, these people that make these decisions, they're insulated from their own policies. Yeah, they should live like everybody else. I know that the Governor was down here in Southern Illinois at the DuQuoin State Fair, for the ribbon cutting. You always know when he pulls up because he's got a entourage of Ford Expeditions, nice big gas colors. I'd love to see him without his security driving a Prius.
Right. Or an EV.
And yeah, an EV.
Well, it's also, like you said, David, it's complete hypocrisy. The governor, after his comments about the Charlie Kirk assassination, he begins to gaslight, and basically it's lying, folks. It's lying. He comes out, he knows he's in trouble. His consultants, they know he's in trouble. So what does he do? He comes out, tries to play the victim, tries to go a different route with it, acts like, he's he basically that he doesn't have the security. He made a comment that, there's folks, there was somebody that was out front of his home and made a comment about, Charlie or something like that. Well, first of all, that may have happened, but JB Pritzker doesn't go out and get the mail, walk back up to his home, and there's somebody staying there having a conversation with him. That doesn't happen. He lives behind gates and security. So for these folks to say, that law enforcement is a sickness that needs to be eradicated, makes me wonder that the guys that they have working for them, I'm sure that doesn't really instill a lot of confidence in them because they're protecting these individuals. And for Brandon Johnson to say this, unbelievable. But really, it's what they believe, folks. It's what the radical left believes. It's deep down, this is what they stand for. And again, there's no unity with the radical left and the Democrats. We have to beat them at the ballot box.
That's right. The only encouraging thing on this slide maybe is that the police union boss at CPD is speaking out against the mayor. And so hopefully they will fire him and fire all these Democrats and hire some pro-police Republicans. So, speaking of the radical left, they talk about there being no unity, Adam. I mean, they couldn't even bring themselves to honor a man that had been assassinated for in the name of political violence. And of course, you see the names here from Illinois, several Democrat Republicans that either voted no or don't vote at all. And it's just pretty sickening to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's terrible. Chris, I texted Mary right after that vote and asked her, what Illinois congressman voted against it. She said, "Oh yeah, many voted against it." It's really quite unbelievable because, if this was, we respond to national tragedy with prayer vigils. I was at a prayer vigil Monday night in Cumberland County, candlelit vigils. But what do the Democrats do? They burn down cities. There hasn't been one city burnt down. There's been one police officer assaulted. There's been one cop car burnt out. But if this was you flip it around, the Democrats, how they respond, they burn down cities. And Charlie Kirk was assassinated in front of the entire world. His children eventually you're going to see that someday. This is heartbreaking. And it's perpetuated by the radical left with a crazy ideology that is gaslighting from Governor J.B. Pritzker. So when Governor J.B. Pritzker says, "I never said anything like that," or, "those words didn't come out of my mouth," he said it took the Nazis 1 month, 3 weeks, 2 days, 8 hours, 40 minutes to dismantle a constitutional republic. He said that on the House floor. He said that Republicans essentially need to be punched in the face. He said we must abandon conventional political fights and become street fighters. Then he says Republicans shall know no peace. So that's why we, the Freedom Caucus, have filed articles of impeachment against Governor J.B. Pritzker, because this rhetoric does not fall on deaf ears. Then you see 2 Israeli ambassadors that were shot and killed. You see those Catholic children, those 8 and 10-year-olds just trying to go to church, shot and killed by a radical leftist. Then you see the assassination of Charlie Kirk by a radical leftist. Again, there's no unity with these folks. We have to beat them at the ballot box, but we have to hold folks like Governor J.B. Pritzker accountable.
Yeah, this is a very sad day with Charlie's death. And I think what people really miss in this is, first and foremost, he was a Christian. If you listen to any of his speeches, any of his podcasts, faith was up and foremost the number one thing in his life. And I think that had something to do with it. It's really heartbreaking. We got a man who's smarter than anybody out there right now. He was absolutely fearless in debating anybody on any topic, and he gets killed. Why? Because he was good at speaking and debating the loons on the left. It's very sad.
I think that it's important for everybody and our listeners to know that that the rhetoric is completely organized by the radical left, because if you listen to them, all of them are saying the same thing, whether it's J.B. Pritzker, Kamala Harris, Biden, or the Chucky Schumer, any of the leaders of the radical left, AOC, and they're still saying it, even as late as yesterday when Kamala Harris was on her comedy tour with her book that nobody wants to buy. But it's the same playbook: fascist, Nazi, threat to democracy. And all they're doing is they're trolling and chumming the waters to try to find a leftist lunatic to go out there and pull the trigger. I guarantee you that all this is on purpose, and all those people are thrilled because Charlie Kirk was assassinated for his faith.
Yeah, and one other thing that our governor has now taken up is he keeps saying that the 2026 election is at risk. You mentioned democracy, but Pritzker is actually out there, and I've heard him repeatedly say that Trump is trying to influence or steal the 2026 election. So yeah, you've got this repeated story out there by them and what they keep saying. And the fringes on their side, if they keep hearing it, they tune in to CNN, MSNBC. That's all they're going to hear. And then it's going to be their justification for their bad acts.
Yeah, they try to spin it.
Go ahead, Adam.
No, go ahead. You're right. Go ahead.
Just going to say, I pulled this picture up because I think we need to remind people we're talking about a husband and a father. I mean, this picture, it totally breaks my heart. And it's just, it disgusts me even further that these 58 House Democrats couldn't bring themselves to put politics aside for a young father with a young family. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Absolutely, Colin. And David, Chris, you're up. You guys are hitting home runs here with those comments. I completely agree. And the left-wing media with the Democrat Party and the radical left, they orchestrate all of this together. I don't know how many times I heard Rush Limbaugh put these sound bites together where they would be having the same on every news station, every media outlet, the same talking points verbatim.
Yes.
Now, do you remember? Yes. Do you remember when the vice president, the debate happened, and the next day, every politician, every Democrat politician, every left-wing media outlet, they had one word. They said J.D. Vance was weird. And they said he was slick. Oh, he's slick, but he's weird. That did not go over well. It didn't land with the American people. So I've been doing a lot of media since we filed these articles of impeachment. I found there's a lot of gaslighting, deflecting, and lying going on by the media, and they try to just lie. I actually had somebody tell me that the president did not say peacefully and patriotically on January 6th. He said he never said that. I said, yes, he did. You're gaslighting and you're lying about this, and you're deflecting from Governor Pritzker's own hateful rhetoric towards conservatives. So when you're watching the media, when you're seeing the Democrat talking points, I have more faith in the people of this state and more faith in the people of this country than the leftists and the Democrats will ever give you, because you're smart enough to see through this. You know it for what it is. And moreover, this movement that Charlie started is only going to grow. Turning point chapters are exploding as we speak. I know there's happening in Chris's and mine district. There's a new turning point chapter that's starting that we've been in touch with. This movement is only going to grow and get bigger. And the youth vote, you thought Reagan conservatives were something in the 1980s? You wait till Kirk conservatives come out, and it's going to be a steamroll against the radical left, and we've had it.
That's right.
Another thing, too, is this another reason why that you can put the blame at the feet of the media and these leftist lunatics like J.B. Pritzker is because they know that they're lying and gaslighting to the people. They know that, just like the members of the Freedom Caucus, both here and in D.C., they know that we are not Nazis, that we're not fascists, that we're none of these things that they call. They know that. And yet they continue to spew the rhetoric because they would be thrilled if there was violent acts carried out against any of us.
And Chris, you're absolutely right. And usually it's the people that are finger pointing in those situations that have to look in the mirror and realize what their own political ideology is. Because are you going to call somebody a fascist that has a sign that says big government sucks? That really doesn't work. So
Yeah.
when you look at the Democrats and they talk about authoritarian, totalitarian, you look at Governor J.B. Pritzker ruling by executive order for years. You look at big government Democrats that say, we're going to tell you what to do under the guises of safety and security during COVID. And you look at big government Democrats who continue to tax with entitlement programs and run roughshod over the citizens of the state of Illinois and the citizens of the United States of America. That's authoritarian. That's totalitarian.
Right. And you have a guy that ruled by executive order for what, 1,100 and however many days during COVID. I mean, this guy was a literal king, or maybe even he would consider us to be Führers. I mean, it's just ridiculous that he would try to equate people that are fighting for smaller government, lower taxes, and less involvement in your lives as Nazis. But again, the media lets him get away with it.
And the more people we have in government that dislike the government, the better off the people of this state will be.
Oh, amen.
Exactly. Well, thanks for that conversation, guys. And just as we wrap up here, October 21st, we hope to see everybody in Yorkville and Jed Davis's district for an Illinois Freedom Caucus town hall up there. It'll be a great night. Talking about freedom with folks from Kendall, Grundy, LaSalle, and all the surrounding counties there. And our last slide here, just if you're looking for a place to get in touch with us or to see our content, there's our website. There's our Substack where you can get updates there as well. Please always like, share, and subscribe to those things. And we'll go around the horn here. Let's go Leader Miller, Leader Freeze, Leader Niemerg. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's, again, thank you for joining in this evening for this conversation. It's extremely important that you exercise your critical thinking skills, because these guys have made a habit of lying to you on a regular basis. The media won't ask them any hard questions. They won't ask them any follow-up questions. Rarely do they ever get called on the carpet for the rhetoric that they continue to expose. We appreciate your support in helping us fuel the flames of impeachment for J.B. Pritzker. He needs to be impeached. He's completely unfit to lead this great state. He's led us to the toilet, and the swirl is getting faster and faster, and Illinois is going down the drain unless we pull the plug on this mess.
Well, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Appreciate everybody's support and prayers. Unfortunately, we got veto session coming up right around the corner, and I know everybody is taxed to death. Everybody's getting their property taxes bill. Everybody's taxes are going up, and my concern is that we're going to get hit with another tax during veto session. Chicago can't seem to get their fiscal house in order, and we're going to have to foot the bill for it. So anyway, stay engaged. We appreciate your support.
Yeah, great comments, guys. I would just say keep your prayers coming for Charlie and his family. And like I said before, you folks of this state and this nation, you're much smarter than the Democrats will ever give you credit for. You see through the, I guess the BS is more the way to put it, the gaslighting, the lies, the deflection by Governor J.B. Pritzker, the radical left, and what they're trying to do to this state and have done to this state, quite frankly. So keep up the hard work, get involved, don't give up, and there's going to be better days.
Hey, I have one other comment. Can I inject it? One
Sure.
thing that I think that you need to remember is these guys are continually using the word MAGA and attacking the MAGA Republicans. And could we just think about that for a minute? MAGA means make America great again. And exactly what is it to the radical left lunatics and J.B. Pritzker and people like him? What could they possibly have against the idea of making America great again? It's beyond me.
Absolutely.
Well, if they make America great again, then they're not dependent upon government programs. So that's their gripe.
Right. You lose ownership of the people.
Yep.
Well, again, thanks everybody for tuning in. And hey, one last plug. The Cincinnati Reds are still in it. We'll find out in a week if my Reds are going to be in the wild card spot or not. Thank you to the Cubs for laying down 4 games in a row and putting us back in the wild card.
Matt Shaw deserves the NL or the Rookie of the Year, MVP, whatever you want to call it. That man left the game. Probably had something to do with the Reds winning. He left and he went to Charlie Kirk's memorial. He was taken out of the lineup. So Matt Shaw, Patriot.
Yeah,
What
kudos to him.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a great rest of your evening and a great week.
All right, take care, guys.